Hi, guys. Welcome back.
Hey.
How are the Bonnaroo blues setting in right now?
I'm glad to be back. Glad it's behind me. Had a great time. Definitely one of the more unusual ones for me.
Yeah.
Just because of circumstances, but that's part of it. What'd we learn, Russ? Ken Weinstein, who gave us the never not great, he had a new phrase for this year,
Oh,
right?
we've got a new one. Okay.
We got a new phrase. Yeah. He said, that's not weird. That's Bonnaroo.
Yep.
Ah.
Yep. He's gold, man. He's
good.
gold.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's like he does PR for a living or something.
He should look into that.
He may consider it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to hang out with him and a whole lot of people, and I think that's the theme for Russ last week is hanging out with people. The guy Brad is a freaking rock star.
I know. He loves it. He walks through and it's like, Joe Biden just showed up. What is the at the Bonnaroo Blues set in, Taco?
Yeah. I mean, we've had about a week to sit on this and process it, so I'm feeling a little better now. But yeah, definitely, when you first walk in the front door and you just go,
yeah,
just tough to accept. It's time to go back to reality.
Yeah,
time to wait a whole other year before you can do this again.
Did you get enough?
I don't know. I look at Russ's timeline and it tired me out. I was exhausted.
It was almost a full week.
Yeah. He hit a wall on
but
Sunday.
Did you really?
Yeah. I was worried about him for a little while. Sure was. I had to get him some water and get him back to camp so he could recuperate, I guess.
Yeah. I sure rebounded pretty hard though. I ended up having a great Sunday night.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the wall like? What happened?
Just getting tired and just sore from walking so much and
dehydrated.
I've been dehydrated, because by Sunday it's I'm about out of steam.
I know, but Taco, here's the thing, I've been meaning to tell you this for how long have we known each other? 10 years. PBR is not water. Although we joke about it, you still.
I've been told it is.
You still need to consume water.
Yeah, need to drink a lot of water.
You don't really do that, do you?
I do.
Barry, how much water did you see him drink?
I didn't. There might have been a little on the top of the PBR can that accidentally from the ice.
The only water he drinks is when it rains on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't dehydrated. It was just sore from walking so much.
You say that. We were walking into Bonnaroo to get lunch, Brad, and we didn't make it to the gate. He said, I'm starting to rethink this. So we went into Artist and to get something to eat, and he went right to a chair. And I was like, you okay? And he was like, no. So
yeah.
Time to go back to camp. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, but when you have the horde of humans, screaming for you when you walk out into the crowd, I can see why you wanted to say, no.
Yeah.
No, let me take a break before it. I'm not ready for this crowd. The paparazzi just
not at my
crazy
best.
for you.
Not at my best. Don't want them to see me this way.
That's right.
I'm so happy for you guys. I tell you, I spent a lot of time with the stream this year. I'll talk about that here in a second, but I'm very excited that we're all, for the first time, wearing Bonnaroo gear. Actually, it's just me and Taco. You're wearing the Never Not Great shirt. But how about this? I will say, just right off the top, the gear this year was next level. It was A+. They really upped the game on the gear, and the fact that they made their own overalls was maybe my favorite part. Haley Williams came out and played with the Foo Fighters in those overalls. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was. I know we're going to talk about it, but it was like we've always done it together. So this year was different. We all have different ways that we experience Bonnaroo. So it's going to be interesting to talk about that. Taco, as we just said, got there on Tuesday, and they had to run you off on Monday, right? Yeah.
I thought about doing that one year, is actually just staying put and seeing how long it takes before they just come out and say, you gotta go.
I figured you should
I
just
wonder
tell
how
them you're
long
the
that'd be.
farm's caretaker and you're there to
No,
you're
kidding.
there to
If
lock
anybody
up
could
when
do it.
everybody leaves.
That's right.
I've got the keys, guys. I've got the keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody could pull that off, it'd be Taco. Please do that next year. I'm begging you. Do it. Let me see that shirt. I haven't seen this this shirt, Taco. Which one is this?
This is the Bonnaroo 2023.
Okay.
Nice.
Cute.
It's got the lineup on the back.
Okay. I haven't seen that one yet. I got the Imogene and Willie Nashville shirt that costs only a cool $80.
Wow.
A T-shirt that costs it's Jesus, but I love it. It's great. I'm really happy with their gear selection this year. They killed it.
Did it come with anything from somebody's basement?
No.
Okay.
No.
See?
For $80, you didn't get
I didn't get any basement.
DVD?
No, I got no like Charles Krautheimer novel from 1987 about Ronald Reagan. No, I didn't get that.
No VHS copies of Dances with Wolves or anything?
I didn't get Babe 2.
Babe. Yeah, exactly.
I hate it. But yeah, the this Bonnaroo shirt very expensive. A much more inexpensive Bonnaroo shirt available on the thewhatpodcast.com. Plus items from Barry's basement that you can purchase today. You still got more of those shirts, Barry? How many more shirts you got
I
left?
still have some shirts and some koozies and a couple of stickers.
Okay.
Yep.
Get all that for a low price of some $25
Yeah,
or
I
so.
forgot what we're charging.
What a steal.
Yeah.
What a steal.
Make me an offer.
Speaking of items,
Make me an
speaking of
offer.
items from the basement, remember last year you mailed off a shirt and a DVD to Madison in Canada.
Have you heard this story yet, Brad?
No.
This is crazy.
No, actually, this was 2 years ago, wasn't it? At this point,
I guess
Maybe.
so.
It was the basement clean out, sure.
Yeah.
The impetus of this was we thought Barry was getting kicked out of his house. And he needed to get everything out
Needed
or
to
it was going to be
purge.
him. Yeah.
yeah. Well, you sent her that copy of that Rush DVD Chronicles, and
Madison in
when she
Canada, right?
Madison, yeah, in Canada, because you had that long story about going to the post office and filling out
with
the
Rex,
form and
with the bowl haircut.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, I said, "Oh man, that's a cool DVD," and she said, "Oh well, I'll bring it to you at Bonnaroo." And this was 2 or 3 years ago, and I didn't think much of it. Well, guess who saw me at Bonnaroo this year and gave me that DVD?
Day one.
She's been carrying this DVD.
She's been carrying it
everywhere
around for
on the
2
off
years.
chance
Yeah,
that she would see
that's
you.
right. So all that effort to mail it to Canada, and she brought it right back.
Barry, how much was that shipping?
Like $53.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a bunch.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I hope that she bought you some spicy pie to make up for that $50, Taco.
Well, I mean, no, I just wanted the DVD.
What are the
Yeah,
chances
all right.
though? It was first day, right? Wasn't it Wednesday or
That
even
was
Tuesday?
That was Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Yeah,
first day.
First day. Mm-hmm.
Walks into Centeroo and runs into Madison from Canada, who happens to have the.
No, that was about a group camp.
Oh,
Centeroo
okay.
was not open
Okay,
yet.
so she wasn't carrying it around. That makes it a little more believable.
But she brought it all the
Yeah.
way from Canada to Bonnaroo.
Yeah, no doubt. That's funny.
I just love the idea is like when you start to pack everything. Oh, let me get the thing for Barry and Taco.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Taco keeps threatening to send it back to me, which isn't
Please
gonna
do.
happen.
Yeah.
It needs to. It
Yeah.
needs to.
It'll
Please
return
bring it
back
full
to the
circle.
basement.
No take
Please
back.
bring it full circle.
No take backs.
What would you like out of Barry's basement that we can send right back to Barry's basement? Send us a note now.
Once it leaves, it's out of here.
I'm sad that I didn't get to meet you guys. There's 2 reasons I didn't make it this year. One we will talk about at another date because there was some drama. But I got deathly sick. I have no idea what happened, but I literally did not leave bed for 7 days, and I didn't even emerge from my bed puddle until Tuesday. And I mean, Barry, you talked to me. I couldn't talk. I was miserable.
Yeah, you sounded awful.
So even if there wasn't drama and everything worked out perfectly, there's no way I couldn't have cutting off. And it wasn't even COVID. I don't know what it was. We tested and tested, and nothing came back positive. I don't know what the hell happened. But every day it was a new problem, you know. One day I completely lost my voice, lost the national radio show. The next day I had body aches. The next day I was, you know, stomach. The next day it was a headache. It was just never ending. And I'm still dealing with it. I'm still coughing like a maniac. I mean, this is 2 weeks out, and I'm still, I still am not right. I don't know what the hell's going on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you would not have been happy on the farm with that.
See, I'm still coughing.
Yeah.
No, it was miserable. But I hate that I missed it because I'll tell you, watching the first few days on Wednesday, man, I had so much Bonnaroo FOMO. It was really rough watching Taco's stories come through. I was like, man, I could just risk it. If I'm just laying in bed, I could risk it, get on a plane, infect everybody, and come down. I was so hard in FOMO. And then, you know, the live streams are great. It's fun to watch it that way. I wish that there was like a way to go back and rewatch it so that you guys could see how we experience it on the live stream. But I will say, and I'm gonna say this to whoever runs this live stream, I've got two things. One, it's a phenomenal product. I don't know if it's Hulu or Bonnaroo, but if they're listening, the product is fantastic. You know, your drone shots, the video footage that you put together, your bumpers in and out of segments, fantastic. It is such an A+ level product, except your host, who is dreadful. I just don't know. Like every sentence, Barry, is Bonnaroo 2023 down here on the farm. Every sentence is this. She just keeps repeating the same things over and over and over. Oh, it was maddening to watch.
Yeah, I watched Friday night. In fact, I got a text Sunday, I think, from our friend Jonathan Sussman, who is a Camp Nut Butter veteran, who said he watched also online and was enjoying it very much. So I loved it. That's another level, another item. And you talking about repeating things. That was something else I heard from several people, sort of unsolicited. I don't know when all of a sudden it became a thing for bands to constantly shout out Bonnaroo motherfuckers over and over and over. I had some girl say, "I'm not a motherfucker." I wish people would quit calling me that, you know.
Well, there goes my next T-shirt idea. Damn it.
Yeah. But it was just funny to hear that.
I tell you the fun part about the stream is that when I watch like Taco's stories, or like Evan Bonnaroo would like post a story on Instagram, and I'll know where you guys are in the crowd. And then I see you on the live stream because I know where you are in relation to the stage. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so fun. You saw me on the stream? Yeah.
That's cool.
It was. Were you? Wait. No, I didn't. I saw Evan on the stream. I saw Parker on the stream. I saw Ham 2 on the stream. I saw Ham 2. Oh, wow. Ham 2 was crowd surfing during the Knock Loose pit. And all I see is, like, they cut to the crowd, and all I see is his face going, like, crowd surfing. It was so ridiculous. I got a great photo, screen capture of it. That was fantastic. And then I don't remember what show it was, but I saw Evan Bonnaroo, like, way, way, way up there. Yeah, it was so fun. It was so fun. That stream is just such a well-done product.
Yeah.
No, but it's no farm life though. It's no Bonnaroo, which, you know.
Well, you didn't have to walk
sucks.
as far to get to the show, so there's that.
I couldn't, even if I wanted to.
I know.
I couldn't walk. There was no walking.
Yeah.
Taco, some of the highlights. What is you want to start on Monday afternoon when you got there, or?
Well, I got there Tuesday.
Okay.
And we did go to the Rubus party Tuesday because there wasn't much else going on.
Sure.
I was once again one of the first people into camp.
For sure.
Which, by the way, the Vanagon did great.
Mm-hmm.
You had a new van.
Yes, new
okay.
Vanagon.
Okay.
No problems with that.
How many strays? How many strays did you bring back home?
Be honest.
We're still cleaning. Yeah,
Be honest.
We're still cleaning those out. We're still checking.
We're still cleaning those out.
Yeah. Maybe one or two.
All right, and then so you did that on Tuesday because there's nothing else to do. Then how'd the rest of the weekend go?
Rest of the weekend went great, and I rode Jamtrack for the first time.
Ooh.
And the driver of the Jamtrack shuttle or whatever it's called recognized me and gave me a T-shirt.
Oh, is that the T-shirt you're wearing right now?
No, I bought this one. He gave me an icy T-shirt.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Brand new.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Yeah, brand new in the package.
I promise you, if you ever want something to really, if you ever want to give a gift that will last a lifetime, give Taco a T-shirt. This man will wear it for the rest of time.
It was my size. That's honestly the most random thing I'd been given. Just, here you go. Here's an icy T-shirt.
But that's how your week started too, right? I mean, you got in.
Yeah, that's how it
no issues
started.
getting in. Got your credentials. Everything was fine. Weren't supposed to get
Went to
in
the
till
high school.
Thursday, but got in Tuesday. So everything was great, Brad, like that. You know, last year was kind of a struggle.
Yes.
This year, I never had an issue. Did you, Russ?
No,
Yeah,
no issues.
everything was great.
No issues getting in. No issues. I saved spots for campmates. I mean, they just.
Barry, I think this is the first year not a single person had a single complaint from the moment they got there till they left. There's not a single complaint. I don't remember a year that was this effortless.
Yeah,
at every level.
You're 100%. And, you know, even going back, usually when we start applying for credentials, you know, there's a little bit of angst, you know, are we going to get it or going to struggle? Who's going to go through what? They were great. Everybody we dealt with, even to the point of them reaching out and saying, hey, you know, Brian Stone was in your group last year. Is he not coming back? You know, I know he helped with the podcast. I was like, wow, you know, thank you for remembering. And yes, he is. And love for him to be part of our group and done, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
just amazing.
But there's not, I mean, there hasn't been, I haven't seen at least, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't seen a complaint about GA showers like you normally do. I haven't seen, long lines and because they closed down one of the entrances. Like, I just haven't seen a year that it almost feels as though there was not a single issue. And I know a lot of people give, and us included on occasion, give Live Nation and C3 a lot of shit. But, man, how about a huge, thank you to them for getting it so right.
Yeah.
And because this is an incredibly hard thing to do. And one problem cascades into a million problems. And it seems as though they hit it out of the park on every level this year.
Yeah. I mean, I heard of one person who paid extra for the shower pass and stood in line for 2.5 hours out in GA to get a shower. But, you know, it depends on when you go. I took a shower Saturday afternoon at 5:30 and there was no one around, you know, not even in line. There was no one around in the shower bathroom area at 5:30 on Sunday afternoon. So, yeah, I agree. And I'm glad, you know, you said that and we're doing it because they deserve it. Last year, if you remember, was half the crowd, 40,000. This year was supposedly right at the 80,000 sold out mark. And I think last year they also had issues getting enough volunteers and workers because of that number. So that was probably why some of the issues. This year with a full house, everything was great. I mean, we even commented several times, just like, are you sure there's that many people here? Because it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Did it ever feel packed?
No, not to me.
No.
Because that McCartney year always felt crammed.
Yeah.
Everywhere you went.
Yep.
Like when you went to get a spicy pie, how long was the wait?
10 minutes, but that was because, I mean, it was a decent crowd. There's 8 or 10 people. And, you know, they warm up the pie, so it's not like they just turn around and serve it. So you were waiting for the pie to get heated up. Not bad.
Ever have to wait too long for a beer?
No.
How about bathrooms?
Nope.
Were they dirty?
No, they
how
were
clean
clean.
were the bathrooms?
They were clean. Yeah.
I haven't heard, and again, everybody's experience is different, but from all the people that I've talked to about this, it could not have gone smoother.
Yeah. Even getting close enough for the shows I wanted to see, not a problem. And I think some of that, the Tuesday entrance, Tuesday and Wednesday, helped with traffic. I think having so many things for people to do spread the crowd out. You know, just as we thought, some people hung around back in the plazas. That thinned things out. Moving the Who stage, which, by the way, gets a lot of kudos. I heard a lot of people talk about how great it was this year because it was over where the comedy tent area was, Brad, if you remember.
Yeah.
And they made it a legitimate stage. You know,
I saw the pictures. It looks great.
Yeah. We talked.
And not like the fake shed that they have had for years. Like it's makeshift.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like a truck bed they were playing on for years.
Yeah.
We talked to Becca and Maddie from Angel St. Queen, and they commented how great it was for their first experience to be on this. You know, they're both veterans of it, so they knew about the old Who stage, and so they commented how great that was, and you know, so just everything from start to finish just seemed to go very, very well, and I couldn't tell you why exactly, but it just did. Russ, back there where we were camping never felt crowded, ever.
No, I mean, it filled up, but it wasn't like people were on top of each other. We had plenty of room.
Yeah, walking in and out was easy.
Yeah, even saving space for you guys was easy. He asked me why, I had an extra spot set up, and I told him, well, we got more people coming. Okay, well, give me their names and their car descriptions, and I'll make sure they get back here with you.
Yep.
What?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. It was easy, man. I'm telling you.
The level of customer service, I've never heard somebody do that. Every time you drive in, there's somebody different.
Yeah.
I know. Well, no, he was like,
wow.
Shout out to Dakota. He was kind of taking the lead on all that.
Of course, his name is Dakota.
Well, he hooked us up. He helped us out. So.
Speaking of, we were talking before about our upcoming shows. I think we have about 5 or 6 scheduled out with the band interviews, and we want to talk to David Bruce from I Am Bonnaroo, but we need to add Mitch, our ticket winner.
Oh, yeah.
We need to get him on. He reached out. He had a great time. So
Good.
I can't wait to hear his experience. For those of you who listen to the show, he's from Montana.
He was our winner, and he's never been to, I don't think, any show before.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been stuck in Montana for his entire life and hasn't been left as like some sort of like prisoner of the state and not allowed to get out, but he finally did, and his one choice was Bonnaroo, and
can't wait.
I'd love to hear his experience.
Exactly, we'll get him, but everything was great. I mean, got cold at night, hot during the day, but not miserable like last year.
The weather was so much better this year.
Was it?
Yeah.
How hot did it get? What was the hottest that you felt?
Sunday.
80s?
Yeah, mid-80s.
Sunday
it was humid and dry and hot.
I can deal with the heat, man. I just can't. I can't with the stickiness. The stickiness is what makes me feel so miserable.
For sure.
It's gotten sticky here. I took 3 showers yesterday.
Yeah.
I just can't. Ugh, crawls all over me.
Yeah. So
all right. So, what about shows? Taco, top show of the weekend.
Probably Portugal the Man.
Ooh, really? I just saw them here in the city on Monday.
So
all right.
So fun. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why? What'd you like about it?
I don't know. It was just a lot of fun. They played a lot of covers. They played just a lot of hits.
I'm glad to hear that. I love Portugal. Yeah. I've seen this band so many times. They're so fun live. I will tell you, though.
I've never seen them live.
I'll tell you, it did not translate as well on the Hulu live stream as it did probably on site. It kind of fell flat on the live stream for me because, I take them as one of these bands that needs to be inside. There's certain bands that when you open up into like an open air show, an open air stage, especially the wet stage, you kind of get lost. I like them in a tent. I like them in small spaces, and I think that's because I've experienced them so many times inside, in a small space. That's sort of my preferred method of delivery when it comes to Portugal, man. So the wet stage live stream seemed a little let's say light. But I'm glad it worked on the site. I'm really happy about that. Barry, what's your top show?
Um,
I know what it is. Where were you going to ask this question?
No. We'll talk about that. Tyler Childers was the surprise for me. That was I'm a huge fan. That was a great live show.
Okay.
Yeah. Noah Khan the night before on Hulu was a great show, and people were talking about that all day Saturday.
That was a great show in person, and
huge crowd, right?
That I've never seen those tents so full of people.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't get close.
Yeah, I tried to warn you. I thought that was going to be one of the bigger shows of the weekend.
Yeah, it was huge.
And you get a lot of this conversation about like why don't they move them to a bigger stage like Korn. I like the tent shows to be full, and it's part of the experience. I like being part of a thing that is just I don't know why. When a tent is like overly crowded, it kind of like lives in lore a little
exactly.
bit.
You feel like you're part of something.
Mm-hmm. Curiously,
I don't want that. I don't want that to be every show, but I want it to be every now and then.
Well, it's curious that they had so many shows that were packed because they didn't have the screens on the side like they normally do.
That was a complaint I did hear, and I don't know why that was. Because Noah could have benefited from having.
Wait, so they just put those screens in a couple years ago, and now they've taken them out?
There were no screens.
Not on the tents.
Not on the tents.
Yeah. They had it on the Witch and the what.
Well, I mean, you remember for years the Witch never had anything. They just now put screens on the Witch like 5-6 years ago, and it was like, oh my God, finally.
Yeah.
Well, and then they started adding. Then they started adding screens to the tents, but they weren't in the tent. They were like outside of the tent, right?
Yeah. So
which is where you'd want them.
Right. Exactly.
That's too bad.
So Tyler was great. Grizz was another surprise for me. I really liked that. Sheryl Crow was a good show. You're thinking I was going to say My Morning Jacket. It was a good show.
Of course.
It was a 3-hour show. I enjoyed it, but I have said they are the perfect Bonnaroo band. Their time may have come and gone, and I don't know what it is. I thought about it a lot. I don't know if it's because shows have changed and people's expectations have changed, or they just haven't had, a massive hit in a while. But you had, what was the Odessa? I didn't see. I heard from just hearing it was kind of pretty much 60 minutes or whatever of the same song. But I understand the visual component was amazing. So sound-wise, My Morning Jacket I thought was great because I know and love the songs. Visually, there's not a lot happening, and I'm kind of juxtapositioning the two shows. So you had that Knocked Loose show, which whatever I say, I'm going to sound like you kids get off my lawn about that show. So I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and say that. It looked to me like the crowd was having a great time.
Yes, it did.
But if not for that drummer keeping things together, that was one of the not good shows I've ever seen. I don't know. I'm not sure they were all playing the same song if not for that drummer. So.
Well, I think everybody on site loved it.
Yeah, it looked like a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing that I took exception to that they said this was the hardest show that Bonnaroo's ever had. That's not true.
No.
But I appreciate their excitement.
Yeah.
To bring their sound and that type of music to Bonnaroo. But Gore was one of the craziest shows that Bonnaroo's ever had because they were still exploding blood onto the farm, and the whole place for days was just like covered in Gore blood. Give me a break.
Can I tell? It reminded me. We got to hang out with our friend Ken Weinstein a couple of times, and with the Bonnaroo and Kyle between interviews, and Ken told a great story about James Brown. I guess from first or second year. I don't remember which one, but apparently Ken was in charge of bringing him to a press conference with Spin and CNN and what did he say, Ross? I mean, the heavy hitters.
Yeah, there was like the top three news organizations.
And they each had one question, and he first of all, he went up to introduce himself to James, and James, I don't do that. Wouldn't shake his hand. So he's like, okay.
Me neither.
Me
and James, same person.
Walked him in, and they each got their question, and James was not having it. Attitude, and all the reporters looked at Ken like, never again. I'm not, And so then later he does his show, and at the end, as he always does, the guy brings the cape out, and James knocks it off and continues to play. And then all of a sudden, the guy brings out a birthday cake and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, it's James Brown's birthday." And Ken's looking at the reporter next to him. He's like, "Can you believe this? What good timing. It's Bonnaroo, and it's his birthday." And the guy said, "Yeah, he did the same thing 2 weeks ago in New York."
Yeah. Good bet.
Good bet, exactly.
Good bet. The one show, though, that I have heard more about from anybody that I talk to is Korn.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes.
I think we sort of all anticipated this being, a good one because it's ridiculous. I love the ridiculous poll from Bonnaroo every year. Whether it's Lionel Richie 1 year, Kenny Rogers, or Korn, but the one that pops out on the screen when you look at the lineup, that was it, and it held up, and people loved it.
Yeah,
it did. Yeah, I'm glad I went to that show.
Yeah, we'll have our campmate Brian Stone on probably the next episode, and he can go on and on about that. I started to head over there while My Morning Jacket was playing, and ended up getting a text from somebody who said, I'm coming to see you. So I didn't see any of the Korn, but you're 100% right. The next day, that's what everyone was talking about, how much fun it was, perfect set list.
I think you forget how many hits that they have.
Yeah, exactly.
You know every song.
Yeah. And they did them, they did what you wanted to hear, basically, is what everyone said. And even the ones who weren't huge fans were like, it was more fun than I expected it to be, and it was just great. So, yeah, that's probably the one. That's the one I regret missing. There were, some others. There always are. As we've said, and I thought about this morning, everything we said in our do's and don'ts, right on. You got to start training weeks and weeks beforehand. You got to start hydrating.
How'd that back hold up, Dad?
It was
How'd
fine.
That hip go?
It was fine.
Okay.
I was out till 4:30 watching My Morning Jacket. Now I paid for it on Tuesday, and even into Wednesday I was exhausted, but it was good. But all of that, and the idea that you're never gonna see and do everything you think.
Well, Taco tried. Taco.
He gets as close as anybody that I know. Yeah. But I kept trying to hook up with Parker, and
and Reed or no Reed.
He dumped Reed. It was just going to be Parker.
Got it.
But every time it was, he was in a plaza and I was in Centeroo, or he was in Centeroo and I was at camp, or the internet would go, the phone service would go bad and I wouldn't get his text until too late, So all those things that we talked about all come true. But for the most part, it was everything was great. I don't know about you, Russ, but I kept running into the people that I wanted to run into.
Oh, me too. And that's the thing. You just about can't make plans to meet up.
Right.
But you almost don't have to because you're going to run into them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why, like you don't. I love these ideas. The people with the what are they called? The walkie-talkies, and who cares? You'll find them eventually. Yeah. I promise you.
Yeah. Yeah, you will. And
the universe will bring everybody back.
Yeah, there was a period during that Molly Tuttle show. It was 10 minutes. I kept running into people, and which was great. But all I wanted to do was walk over and grab a beer. But so I started, and then I get stopped. Yeah, and then I would start again and get stopped, and then I get stopped again, and I might as well just stand here because
I watched on the Hulu live stream. Sheryl Crow played the accordion on roller skates through Centeroo, singing "Soaking Up the Sun." Nobody stopped her, but yet when Russ Jackson walks through Centeroo,
that's right.
The whole place stops.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Rockstar.
It's my birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Taco. Happy birthday.
Yeah, everybody gave me a cake.
We got a cake. What I want to talk about this with an actual Foo Fighters fan. Evan Bonnaroo can come on and talk about it if he wants to, because that was the greatest moment of his life. But your thoughts on the Foo Fighters show?
I enjoyed it.
Barry?
Well, I should explain, and probably should have before. So I have a new job, so I couldn't leave, couldn't get there till Saturday morning, and had every intention, because of my new job, I had got Monday off, Juneteenth, so everything was fine, but reached out to my wife, Saturday and Sunday, and our 18-year-old cat was on death's door. And so when I called Kelly Sunday morning, she was like, I'm just sitting here, cuddling the cat, trying to ease her. And I was like, I can't leave her with that. So I went home probably midday Sunday, and then had the cat put down on Monday. Didn't think she would make it. Yeah, I mean, it was rough. But because of that, I didn't see the Foo Fighters show. So that's what I mean. This year was different for all three of us in unique ways. So
I'll be honest. I thought after I saw the Atlanta show in DC, I tempered my expectations of what I was going to see, because they're just not doing 4-hour shows anymore.
Yeah, I think you nailed it.
And so, but what I was surprised about is that the Bonnaroo show that they brought was the exact same show they did 2 nights before, and the exact same show that they did 4 nights before, and the exact same. Now, aside from Haley Williams coming out, the jokes were the same. The introducing of the band and going through all of those the medley of songs, exactly the same. And if I got to go back and look at the set list, but it might have been the shortest show that they have had on the entire tour. They played for just around 2 hours. I was kind of underwhelmed, to be totally honest with you. I had so much anticipation for that Foo Fighters show to be special, and I don't even think that Dave Grohl said a single thing about it being the first ever Foo Fighters Bonnaroo show. It did. I hesitate to talk about it this way, because I know that certain fans will say that they loved it, and that's great. I just think that it just didn't feel like it met the moment. It felt great. It felt like it was a good Foo Fighters show, but it felt like the same show that I could have seen in Birmingham, Alabama, which is a little disappointing, because that to me would have been the show that I'd circle and wait for the entire weekend, and it just kind of.
Yeah, kind of going back again, we sort of wondered about that, and the My Morning Jacket Saturday night starting at 12:30, how long would it go? And it went 3 hours. So
yeah,
it could have,
as it should, by the way.
As it should.
That makes a lot of sense.
It was a perfectly, very good My Morning Jacket set. So yeah, you're not the only person who I've heard sort of say that about the Foo Fighters. It was good, but it was, and we've talked about that. We need to get some either artists on or something to talk about that sort of thing. Do you treat something like a Bonnaroo any differently, or not? Or is the machine too big to, the ship too big to try to turn once it gets going? I don't know.
Well, look, I think that the days I think it's unfair, because the Foo Fighters show that I think of immediately whenever I hear the term Foo Fighters and I hear the name Dave Grohl is, I think about the Metro show in Chicago for a Lollapalooza after party that went 4 hours, and they played an hour of Rolling Stone covers, and it just felt like this organic thing.
Yeah.
But you go back and remember, it wasn't that organic. They had just done the same thing in the city before that. So, there is this sort of cycle to everything that I sort of forget, that because I get lost in the moment, and I think that, not, and so I punish the Foo Fighters now for not giving me that.
Yeah.
But in reality, they have a new drummer.
Yep.
Everybody's gotten a little older. They're just not pouring out 4-hour sets anymore.
Yeah.
And the idea to, I just,
But On the other
I
hand,
think my expectations were out of whack.
on the other hand, I just saw, I think, the other morning where the Pretenders at Glastonbury had Johnny Marr come out and play with them.
And Dave Grohl, yeah.
And
I saw
Grohl.
that, yeah.
And Paul McCartney kind of walked out and did a wave. I don't think he performed with them, but he was in the wings watching. So it can be done. You know,
well, I see what you did there in the wings.
Yeah, in the wings. I also kept thinking about what Jim James said to us on the show right before Bonnaroo, and that, you know, the magic of the artist just popping on and hanging out just doesn't happen anymore. You know, like Hayley Williams joining Foo Fighters was a great headline for, you know, every publication, but in reality, she was there for a chorus and then left. Those things don't even happen anymore.
Yeah.
How many other times did that even happen this weekend, other than, you know, Hayley Williams popping in? Was there another moment that I'm missing that, you know, had an impromptu somebody jumping on stage aside from the Super Jam?
That's a good question. I don't know that I heard.
I don't think there was.
You know, one thing we heard last year when Moon River got rained out and they shifted everybody on that Sunday night over to Memorial Auditorium here in Chattanooga, one of the things Drew Holcomb told us was it's a scary thing for the artist to do an impromptu thing like that, because if it sucks, that's what the fans are going to remember. You know, they're not going to give you a pass because, the sound guy wasn't your regular sound guy, or the guitar player is not using his regular guitar. It's borrowed.
Yeah.
You know, so for that to have been pulled off. But that's the kind of thing they have to think about, I guess.
It's risky.
It's risky, yeah. There's as much chance of failure and being remembered for that as for it being a great moment. So,
yeah, and I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. I wonder if anybody even cares anymore. Like, those moments are great. I just is anybody have an appetite for that anymore?
Just us.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I know.
We seem to keep bringing it up. Maybe that's not fair.
Yeah. Any other highlights? What else did I miss?
Big Freedom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Big Freedom's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Big Freedom's a great show.
First of all, I caught the Pride Parade. First time ever seeing
that.
Good. And of course, she was the headliner for that, you know, because she was on back of the truck or whatever, going from the House of Yes to Centerroom. So we followed the Pride Parade all the way through camp, and then that show that night. Which night was that? That was
Thursday.
Thursday, yeah, Thursday night. She had that late night, you know, big, and of course that tent was packed again.
I love Big Freedom. I love Big Freedom.
So much fun.
just a wacky dance party.
Yes.
Yeah, go see Big Frida. I mean, the tour is all over the place.
Have fun.
You can't not have fun. That's right. Frida just played a thing here in town, and randomly all of the people that went from New York to New Orleans for Mardi Gras this year all went to the Big Frida show to relive their New Orleans Mardi Gras experience. It's just an absolute blowout. All right.
Yep.
What else you got?
That baby Keem, that's a full-grown man.
Not a baby?
Very disappointed. Not a baby.
Damn it. Little baby Keem.
Oh, yeah. That reminds me. I didn't see it, but it was the other thing that I heard people talk about was the Diesel set.
Yes.
Oh, Shaq?
Shaq. Don't make me come down there. That's what he kept saying, apparently. Don't make me come down there.
He was, I mean, he was shouting out to the crowd, and it was fun, but it was almost threatening. Like, you felt, you know.
Because they had like a mosh pit going, right? Which, from what our campmates, the Velans, Tara and Joe, said, apparently he didn't, he's not used to having a mosh pit. So he was like, somebody's going to get hurt. Don't make me come down there. Yeah.
I know.
Sounded pretty funny.
But he was almost ordering you to have fun, or, you know, yell or put your hands up, or, that was quite an experience.
But did anyone see, like, Shaq in the wild?
Not that I heard.
That's the part that I would be more interested in.
Not that I heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody was too busy finding me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's still kind of cool that Shaq was on the farm. I think that's great.
If he's Diesel, Lord Taco is unregulated. Unleaded. I'm sorry, unleaded.
Unregulated.
Yeah. I don't remember. Do you know the last time I put gas in my car?
was
I don't even know what the
getting
prices are.
Have you ever done it?
Yeah. I don't know.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm not the car guy. Man, I'm so happy to hear that it went well. I think is high marks all around. The weather cooperated up until Sunday night. How bad was that storm on Sunday night, Taco?
Really wasn't that bad. I managed to make it back to camp kind of right before it started storming. But I mean, it just rained, and by the time sun came up, it was back to normal. So I wasn't caught in it or anything. Other people might have been, but and then they did have a weather event. What day was that?
Like Wednesday, wasn't it?
Like Wednesday, yeah. Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday. But they had to close Bonnaroo down, just for a little bit. But that pretty much broke up right before it hit us. I mean, we got a little rain, a little wind, but it was pretty much just a little break.
Gotcha.
So we survived the big Bonnaroo 2023 storm.
Yeah. All right. What about you got any guesses for next year's headliner? You got any? You want to throw in a guess right now? Way too early to guess headliner, Taco? Barry, what do you got?
I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I hadn't even given it a thought.
I'm putting my money on Coldplay. Coldplay.
It was a good lineup. It was
leader in the clubhouse.
I thought it was a well-structured lineup. It sounded like there was, other than the Korn, My Morning Jacket, and I know some other people had some conflicts.
Yeah, not a lot of conflicts.
Not a lot of
either,
conflicts.
Right?
Everything
Yeah,
seemed to work. Like I said, they spread things out well, so it never felt overwhelming. The crowd. People seemed to shift pretty easily from Bonnaroo to the What. That seemed to flow well. They did flip-flop, Brad, just for your information, because the VIP areas in the woods where we used to be, they flipped the entry points there. Coming out of artist and media area into Bonnaroo was now the more difficult gate to get in and out of. They checked bags and all that. And the other side of the which where, used to be, they checked everything. Apparently they weren't checking anything because that's where the VIP, I don't remember what that,
Area 931. Which I did get back there and checked it out.
That was the other thing we were kind of wondering about. Yeah. It was pretty easy to wander around, right? And they also have a new entrance into the What area by the hill, Brad. So you could go in through artist or media, or you could go in the other side of the stage.
Other side of the What stage?
Yep. That was new.
Wow. Yeah. Is that to get into where in the woods a lot easier or something?
I think I'm guessing, just to make it easier, because you also had some a lot of more guest camping on that side.
Okay.
So.
Wow. Yeah. And I think that's previously where VIP camping was. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. So and since they don't really have VIP camping anymore,
kind of opened it up.
Nope.
So. Yeah. So.
Smart.
And I wanted to
just checking real quick. The hill's in the same space.
It moved. They moved it 200 yards. It's
years
completely
ago.
different.
They moved that years ago. Yeah. They moved the hill.
Just let folks know. Like I said, coming up, we'll probably have Evan Bonnaroo and Brian Stone probably next week to get sort of their recaps, and maybe even Mitch if we want. Then their ticket winner.
I'd love to.
And we have the interviews with. Angel St. Queen, Becca, and Maddie. That was a lot of fun. She talks a little bit about being your intern at the radio station, Brad. That was fun.
Oh, good.
Becca.
Oh, good.
And the Sacred Souls, Alex, Sal, and Josh. We talked to them as well. That was a lot of fun. But I'm really excited. We need to have David Bruce on I Am Bonnaroo. We've had him on before, and Russ, I'm sure you can link to it.
That project looked great.
What a cool thing, man. I'm so happy for that guy. He's such a nice guy. He's been coming to Bonnaroo and taking black and white photos since, 2011. And the folks at Bonnaroo reached
10 years. I mean, it's been a 10-year anniversary. They finally reached out and wanted to do a little collaboration.
Yeah, I won't give away too much because he came back to camp and was telling some people who didn't know his story, and I didn't know some of the details. And just say that Bonnaroo, man, they did right by him. They're really, really cool.
They sure did.
And
good.
I can't wait to hear that.
Good.
So I think that's it. That's 5 or 6 shows, or 4 or 5 coming up.
Yeah.
So still plenty to talk about, and can't wait. And it was a good year. A good year.
All right. Great year.
It was a great year. Yeah.
I'm so glad you guys had a good time. I'm glad that I at least got a shirt out of the operation. This shirt. I love this shirt. Anything else before we go? Let's wrap it up. Well, okay.
All right.
Just make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. Because
thank you.
More content coming out.
Thank you to those of you that have. We hit it, whatever that magic number is on some of the platforms.
We had a big milestone. We had 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah. And hello to everybody.
Here comes the sex tape. Here comes the sex tape.
Hello to everybody that I know a lot of you, we were teasing Russ about being a rock star, but I had so many people stop and say hello and introduce themselves too.
Oh, that's lovely.
Fans of the show and a lot of people who I know and respect who said, man, thank you for those do's and don'ts. I think Bill Kissling, even said, I unpacked my RV and repacked it based on what you guys suggested. So, and that meant a lot.
Did he pack it full of stuff from the basement?
I don't know.
He just had everything.
I need to reach back out and say, what'd you have in there? Chicken, steak, and a grill. I mean, I don't know what he unpacked.
He didn't bring the farm animals. He did not bring the chickens.
But that was really cool to run into so many people who.
It was, and I got a lot of compliments on that Jim James interview. They loved it.
Yeah,
so that was one of the best shows we've done.
Yeah, I love that. Sure. I love that chat. I love that chat.
Yep.
Well, man, that's nice to hear. I love the interaction part of this because I talk to these two dopes in a box, once a week. It's very rare that we actually get to interact with the people that listen to it. I mean, even when it's been random on the streets of New Orleans, and all of a sudden, that dude James and I just all of a sudden now we're going to get beers. That's the part that I love the most because we very so rarely get to interact with you guys. So when we do, it feels really special.
Yeah, and it just illustrates what a community it all is. We're all going through the same thing and love it for the same reasons, and that was the neat part for me.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's great. All right, guys. We'll talk to you next week. Happy birthday, Taco.
Oh, thanks.
Peace.
Consequence Podcast Network.